My name is Pierre Graff. I'm the DA here in Lebanon County. Next to me is Officer Brian Adams. Officer Adams is with me today as part of the request we have for the commissioners. So Officer Adams is with the Lebanon City Police Department, but he also volunteers his service for our Emergency Services Unit. That unit is a county-wide group, and it's county police officers, and it's from every different municipality that we have, aside from the Pennsylvania State Police within Lebanon County. And they respond to our large-scale incidents, the violent incidents, and the team, you have to volunteer and want to serve on that team. They go through various trainings, and as a result, they need equipment to do their work. We are asking today for the commissioners to approve our application on a grant, and with that grant, we have the advocacy of Senator Chris Gephardt. He and I have spoken, and he is willing to advocate that the grant is approved and that the ESU team receives these funds. The grant is through the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development. The amount that we are going to apply for is the exact amount for a quote for a vehicle for the ESU team. That vehicle will be purchased through the Lenco Armored Vehicles. The total cost is $248,198, and that is the exact amount of the grant that we are applying for. The reason for this vehicle, frankly, it's multifaceted. The vehicle that we currently have, it doesn't compare to the capabilities that the new vehicle, that the new equipment has to offer. It ensures safety of the men and women who serve and volunteer on this team, so for our law enforcement. It also ensures safety that if we go to a scene, we have a vehicle that is capable of safely extracting hostages and civilians from a violent, immediately pressing scenario. So from a need base, I think it's a wonderful addition to the team. It's also a wonderful addition to protect the members of this community. With the ESU team, the move is going to be made very quickly into bringing that formally under the umbrella of the District Attorney's Office and therefore the County of Lebanon. We are formalizing our policies, which we are going to then submit for review with the county, the solicitor's review, and obviously for the review of the commissioners if it's necessary. But there will be a policy in place for who can operate this vehicle, how it is operated, how it is used. There will be very specific guidelines and restrictions on how this vehicle may be employed. But from a bare bones usage, it will be to get the team safely into an active ongoing scenario to make sure that they are capable of getting in and getting out safely. And it would also be utilized if there's any civilians, hostages, children in that area to be able to extract them from that scene in a safe capacity. So if the commissioners approve this grant, we would be applying. And the application process is a bit unique. We can only apply on one day out of the week and a set number of hours. So we would like to go ahead and do that very soon. And I have Officer Adams with me because, one, we are National Police Week, and I think it's a great thing to apply for this grant during that time. And two, Officer Adams was really one of the champions for this vehicle with the ESU team and knows far more about the vehicle than I probably ever will. And I just wasn't sure if there would be any questions as to that. But otherwise, we're asking for the permission to apply for the grant.
Well, do you have any comments that you'd like to add to round out that presentation?
I think District Attorney Hess made some good points on it. The intent of the vehicle is just essentially to protect the team, protect the citizens of the county. We can use it to get people out of a scene if need be, and it gets us into the scene with the appropriate amount of armor protection for whatever threats we might face. So I think she hit the nail on the head. When
and the alternative would be waiting for state police or with some similar reaction or response.
Correct. So
which could be any amount of time.
Surrounding counties all utilize this vehicle for their version of an ESU team. And the difference in Lebanon County, so you have the state police and then you have municipal police departments such as Lebanon City. If it's a state police call out, state police will respond, and if they need to utilize their version of ESU, they will do that. Would they potentially assist if it's a municipal call out? I'm sure, but with the state police, they only have so many of these vehicles and so many of these teams throughout the Commonwealth. So you're waiting on potentially hours until that vehicle is moved from wherever it happens to be on the evening of a call out or the day and time of that call out until they're able to get to Lebanon County. And even since becoming district attorney, we've had some of these instances where the team is called out. It's an emergent, pressing incident. It's violent. There are a number of civilians and citizens in the area that to wait that 2.5 hours really is a huge risk, not only to the team, but also to just your everyday citizen within this community that happens to be there. So because of that, that's why I frankly feel it's appropriate that our county has one of these.
I have two questions. Sure. First of all, you say you have a vehicle. Is that one getting traded in, or would you end up with two vehicles?
The ultimate goal for that one would be to eliminate it. I see no reason to keep multiple vehicles on hand, and if this one is successful and we're able to get the grant funds, then that vehicle would be traded in, sold, etc. The team has some other equipment that needs to be replaced, and there's other work vans and things of that nature that we're hoping to upgrade. So putting that towards the cost of that and not bearing that burden on the county would be something that we're looking to.
So ultimately, it would be disposed of one way or the other?
Yes, in,
Okay.
in some capacity, yes, ma'am.
And then the second question is, help me understand, I hear the end result, but can you give me some concrete examples of the improvements in this new vehicle over the old one?
So, yes and no. In terms of the current vehicle, from a tactical perspective, I don't want to talk about the capabilities and what it can and cannot withstand, because until we've secured this Lenco vehicle, that's a huge safety risk for the team and also for the county. So for a civilian to know as a result of this meeting what the current vehicle is capable of doing and not capable of withstanding, I'm not comfortable putting that information out there. That's a private conversation we could certainly have. In terms of what this vehicle is capable of doing, it's armored, it's capable of withstanding a certain amount of long gun rounds, and it's capable of therefore getting, and we actually had figures from Lenco, we can get 10 to 12 fully equipped officers in the back of this vehicle in and out of a scene. So from a capacity standpoint, it's bigger, it's safer, and it's capable of extracting then more civilians than what we currently have.
In a nutshell, it's going to greatly enhance the safety
Absolutely.
of our staff and any hostages or community people that might be in harm's way.
I can actually think of a situation where we could have used a vehicle like this. A few years ago, we had an incident at a hotel in North Lebanon where a gentleman fired off a gun through his hotel room door, and we ended up in a barricaded gunman issue with him, with the ESU team, which is generally the kinds of call-outs that we go on. That's probably our bread and butter, so to speak, of the kinds of calls that we handle. In that particular instance, we wanted to evacuate as many floors around that specific room where that subject was barricaded inside of. To do that took quite a bit of planning because we didn't have, at the time, the appropriate vehicle that would have allowed us to do that. So we had to kind of usher everybody to one side of the building, away from that room, put them into buses and get them out of the area. Ideally, with something like this, we could load them into that vehicle, get them to a bus off scene, so that way they have full protection as they're leaving the scene. So that's just one example of where something like this would have really come in handy. It would have been safer for us to approach the hotel, and it would have been safer for the citizens that were in the hotel to get them out of there. It would have provided them with the protection that would have kept them safe.
Your explanation really helped me. Thank you so much.
You're
I'll
welcome.
make a motion to approve it, applying for a $248,198 DCED grant for the purpose of the emergency service unit vehicle.
Second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Any questions? No.
Say God bless you and thank you for your service.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Not
Thank
all in
you.
favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. So moved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
Thank you so much.
You too.